Hi there, Sandra here from createinspain and Siser Juliet Beginners to Pro. I have a card base here which is looking a bit of a mess because I made the card and then found my camera wasn't recording, so I took it apart. I thought I don't want to have to do this again, I just want to get the video done. So this one is going to be an LED card. An LED card for those people who don't want to use a kit and who want to do a fair number of them without paying a lot of money to do it. So what do you need in order to get this done? Well, first off, you need copper tape. It's a self-adhesive copper tape and the adhesive is conductive adhesive. Get the best quality that you can, as thin as you can. This is a good quality one. It's a bit wider than I actually wanted at 6mm, but the good point of this is I can actually take a piece and I can cut it in half lengthwise, and then I will still have my narrow tape and I can get away with using that. So it cuts very easily, but this is quite a good quality one. Go for a recognised brand if you can. It's not that expensive and it will last you a very long time. The next thing is batteries. What I use is a CR2016. As you can see, it's very thin, doesn't add much weight or indeed thickness to the card, which is great. The other thing you want is a light bulb. Now the easiest, smallest, I've got hairs all over everywhere now, is this type of thing. This comes on a reel like this. I bought it off of Amazon, cheap enough to do, and you just peel them off of the reel to use. Very, very easy. Now, I'll show you a diagram of the back of it. Here we got a diagram with the LED in the middle, and these two strips on either side are metal, and those are the contacts for your light. So when you're putting it together on your design, what you want is your copper tape coming up underneath it. One of those sides goes on that piece of copper tape. Then there's a separate piece of tape that goes in another direction, and that's where that side will go. So you want just a tiny little gap, probably only more than about 2mm in between the two lines of tape. Now this is what I'm talking about. This will be tape coming up here, and there'll be another line of tape going down there. There will be another break there because this is where the switch is going, and then that one will go to the battery as well. Now before we do this, we want to make sure that the battery doesn't move, and so the easiest way of doing this is to get a piece of double-sided sticky tape. You can cut it in the appropriate shape if you want to. It's a 2cm circle, but I haven't bothered in this particular case, and I can even see through it to where the circle was marked. The design is marked with the drawing lines. If you want to do it with your machines, you can. So for the first piece of tape, what I would do is take the backing off of the tape, and that's going to go over where the battery is going to go, and stick it down, and it can go there. And I want to cut it at an angle like a letter A basically, and put that down nicely like so. The next one, as I said, has to be a very small gap. Yes, that one's long enough. So I want to guide it so that it has a tiny little gap in between the two. And then it goes over this foam circle which I've put on here. Now my foam is the same height as my battery, so that's where that's going to go. Actually, that one is a little bit long. I think I will take a smidge off of there. There we go. Right, so that's the second piece of tape. Then I have to put my battery on top of here. Now that's going to stay in place, that's definitely not going to move anywhere, which is great. And my last piece of copper tape for this side goes from over here. Now remember, leave a little gap. The gap on that is not quite so imperative. I mean, it needs to have one, but the distance between it isn't quite so imperative. And then put it so that it goes up onto the battery like so. I can just pull that little bit off. So that is actually my circuit completed apart from my light bulb. Now the only bit of guesswork in this on the light bulb is which side is the positive and which is negative. On your battery, the waffled side is the negative and the smooth side is the positive. So this is our negative wire in effect, and this is going to be our positive wire. But in order to test it, I need to get the circuit complete. So a little bit of copper tape on here. And if I place that across, we can see that's the right way around because it lit up. Sorry, got interrupted with a phone call there. And I can put my light bulb over there, press it down, just get some more tape over here. That does the trick. And I can just press it down like so. Just check that again. Yay! Right, so that's the circuit completed. Doesn't get much easier than that, does it? And I didn't have any sticky foam tape that was the right thickness, so I've just put some double-sided tape on the back of this to get it done easily. There we go. So that's going to look quite tidy from the outer edges. So we have foam tape around, and that's going to support the front panel. As you can see, when the front panel is on, that's at the same level, which is really important. Now obviously I've not finished my front panel, I've not put all the decoration bits on, and I haven't put the plastic behind the hole. I've actually put the plastic in a cut form already, so you know that's in the file if you're going to do this particular design with a decorative panel, which you'll see at the end when I finish doing the card. So this bit here needs double-sided tape on. I've put an offset in the file for cutting that out that actually has a circular hole in the middle to make sure that you put the copper tape in the correct place so that it will contact. And then to avoid it making contact while in the post or whatever, you can simply put a piece of plastic in there, and a piece of plastic will remove itself. When someone opens the card, it will just fall out, and then they just go press, and it will complete the circuit. Obviously it won't at the moment because there's no copper tape on there. And you can do all sorts of circuits. You can do, you know, one bulb, more than one bulb, etc. I'll be doing quite a lot of LEDs in probably August and September in the lead up to the winter season. But I wanted to give you the chance to be able to get the supplies now so that when it comes to that season, you've got them. You can buy your batteries in bulk, you can buy your copper tape and your lamps, and then you've got everything ready to go when you want to start making your Christmas cards or your Halloween cards or things like that, because actually Halloween would be a good one to do, lighting up pumpkins and things. So I've cut out my little piece of double-sided tape on there, like so, and then I can peel off the backing, and I can make sure that circle there has some copper tape on it. But this is a really sort of cheapy one, and it didn't do very well when it came to the conductive adhesive part of it. So what I'm going to try doing, in fact, is to put it adhesive side up on there, and then place this over the top like so, press that down, and then that has picked up my copper tape, and I know that it's in the correct place. Now I thought it probably would be because I did do that circle in the center, but I just wanted to check, and that seemed to work just fine. So that can be removed by whoever receives the card, and you can trim off if it's too big. Just trim off the end like that, and then it doesn't interfere with your envelope either. Now if you don't have a thicker or wider tape like this one, just put some strips of the narrower tape in place, and that will do the job just as well. I just thought I might as well use this since I've got it. There's some white tape which happens to be a double-sided tape, which is fine, doesn't make any difference, but it's just the fact that it's white and it's going to hide most of the copper tape. That is the important bit. There we go. So you don't see the copper tape in the same way. In the file there will be a dedicated shape cut out, but I've got some scraps of acetate. So I've got my window. So I finished this one off. I've put the decorative panel in the front. I've put my sentiment on, it's time to sparkle. And in order to test it out, because I don't want to make this stick to itself permanently at the moment, I just put a little bit of copper tape under here. And there we go, you can see that it lights up. So that's it. I'm going to put that under something a little weighted, not too heavy, but a little weighted, just to keep it down, because I used a glue on here, which is probably not something I would normally do, but I was in a hurry and I couldn't be bothered with tape. And the last thing I want is for this to not stick properly. So yeah, I'll put something a little weighty over the top. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon. Take care now.